When you design PCBs, will you arrange them in a single form or panel form? Do you familiar with the concept of panelization? In today's video, let's explore some types of panelization methods and their applications.
PCB panelization is a technique of manufacturing a collection of PCBs together on a single larger panel which can foster the easy movements of PCBs through an assembly line. Each board in the panel can be of the same or a different design. After production, the panel can easily be separated into individual boards. Panelization is commonly used to optimize and increase efficiency in the production of small and odd-shaped PCBs. For PCBs smaller than 50 mm by 50 mm, panelization is recommended.
So, after the panel production is completed, what are the common ways to depanelize the boards?
Depanelization is the separation of individual circuit boards from the PCB panel. It can be carried out in different ways. V-scoring is a technique that involves cutting a V-shaped groove into a panel to separate the individual boards. The size of the groove is an important parameter, especially its remain thickness, which is the thickness of the board left between the two inverted V grooves. The most common residual thickness is recommended to be 1/3 of the thickness of the board. However, as V-scores must be straight lines on the panel, this method has some restrictions. For example, panels with irregular shapes or complex cutouts may not be suitable for V-scoring. Also, it is not suggested to use the V-scoring method where components are hanging over the edge, as the components could be damaged during the separation process. In such cases, alternative separation methods, such as tab routing, may be more appropriate.
V-scoring, what a visual word. Then, what about tab routing?
In this method, tabs are created along the edges of each board. Tab routing panelization is a flexible method that can accommodate irregularly shaped PCBs and components that extend beyond the edge of the board. To use tab routing, the tabs must be designed to be strong enough to hold the board in place during assembly and testing, but also thin enough to be easily cut or broken after assembly. In some cases, tabs are routed with additional perforations or stamp holes. The perforations in the tabs make it easier to separate the individual PCBs from the panel. Additionally, by breaking off the tabs along the perforations, the stress is distributed evenly across the edge of the PCB, reducing the risk of damage or deformation. In addition to tab routing, breakaway rails can also be included in the panelization design. Breakaway rails are thin strips of material that are added to the edges of the panel to provide extra support during the manufacturing process. The width of the breakaway rail is generally about 5/8 mm. The rails can be easily broken off after the boards are assembled and tested, leaving clean and smooth edges on the individual PCBs.
At PCBWay, you have the option to either upload your own panelized PCB files or provide PCBWay with necessary requirements to assist with panelizing the boards. After watching this video, if you have any questions about the PCB panelization, you can leave them in the comment and we will answer you as soon as possible. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.